welcome to the Busted Knees and Pretty Trees podcast. If you've just happened our way, well, come on in. Everyone is welcome here. Hope you like the great outdoors, taking long walks, and forging a new you upon the unyielding anvil of the natural world, where capability grows like bamboo and courage roars like the whitewater.
Nice.
But if you don't like that, stick around anyway, because we always have a good time, and maybe, just maybe, we can get you started on your first backpacking trip into the wild places. You might just like it. I am Travis J. White, 1/3 of this podcast, and I appreciate you coming along. Tonight, I'm truly only 1/4 of the podcast, because we have brought along a guest to make tonight's trivia night a little more competitive for me. Possibly brought in by Brad and Patty to undermine my heroic attempts to win once again. My 3 competitors, listed in an order only known to me. The order regards assigned threat levels to my Trivia Challenge Championship, and they are as follows.
Wait,
Is this highest threat to lowest threat?
Only known to me.
Please make Brad last. I don't care. In my mind, it's going to be the best.
Patty Richardson.
Oh, yay. Hello.
Bradley Greer.
Okay.
And friend of the podcast, Corey Gaudette.
Heidi ho.
Dude, what's up?
Not much. What's going on?
Welcome,
Not
man.
much.
You handed me a knife a little bit earlier to
I did.
inspect it, and I thought, this guy's all right.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
Did you
I'm happy to have you on
Did you
the
slice
episode
a piece
tonight.
of paper with it?
I did not.
Oh,
I trusted him.
I thought when he pulled it out, I thought, oh, you showing up, dude? Is that what's going on? You already threatening me?
Yeah, and we had a nice conversation about knives.
Yeah.
And we had an episode not that long ago about accessories.
Yeah. And we talked about
a
knives.
little bit about knives.
Darn right.
So yeah, it all comes around.
What goes around comes around. Dude, there's the Panther. Really quick, Corey, I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're joining us for the first time on the pod. This will be a fun game night episode.
Yeah.
I'm excited for my first time here. This is the first time on a podcast.
Yeah?
So I listened to him, but
I think everybody that's been here has been their first time.
Well, we like those grassroots dudes, you know what I mean? Let's get in here. Let's have some fucking fun.
Yeah, man, thanks for coming along.
Absolutely.
But
Thanks for
that
having me.
sound you just heard, that's the News Panther.
That is.
And he gives the news to Brad.
Yes, he
and
does.
He reads
Yep.
it.
yep.
He does none of the research.
Or we're one and the same.
Which I'm not.
We'll never know.
Dude, we'll never know. Go ahead, B-Rad,
So,
News Panther.
I think it was a couple episodes ago, Patty, that you were telling me, or it may have been off mic, but you were happy that we had some like good, uplifting animal news stories.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir. That was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got news for you.
Okay.
I'm going to apologize in advance
Bring her back down.
because we got some two kind of bummer stories.
That's okay. Just more fuel for my fire for trivia, dude.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
that
whip
easy.
that ass.
Well, there's a mystery brewing in the San Francisco Bay.
Oh, it also deals with thy hometown.
Yeah, the old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
6 gray whales have died in the last week alone, the week being like the week of May 30th, bringing the total number to 15 so far this year.
What the frick?
Yeah. Like authorities are rushing to try to figure out, like, they don't know what's going on.
What kind of whales?
Gray whales.
Gray whales.
Whoa.
I got a little bit about gray whales for you. They can reach lengths of 49 feet, up to 90,000 pounds.
Decent.
Pretty big. And they generally live between 55 and 70 years, although they have found a few that are like late 70s. They normally habitate in the northeast Pacific of North America and the northwest Pacific of Asia.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be in North Atlantic, but they were extirpated probably due to whaling in the 17th and 18th century. Like in the 2000 teens, there were like a few rare sightings of gray whales. So, but for the most part, they're in the Pacific. They feed up in the Arctic, and they're always migrating back and forth.
Yeah.
How do they compare to a blue whale? Is a blue whale the biggest?
Yeah, I think blue whale is the biggest. I think.
And a sperm whale and an orca, all of them. How do they compare?
Let's go
What
through.
about a humpback?
Can we go through all the whale species right now, Brad? I'm sure you did your research. Lay them on us. We have time.
I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't
Yeah, so am I.
have something to compare it to.
Yeah. Fun story really quick, dude. We went on our honeymoon to Seattle and went whale watching, and we got to see 1 or 2 gray whales.
You didn't know what one was, or?
Well, they would come up to the surface, and then it would go all the way down. And when they're down, I can't remember what the captain was saying, but I think something like 20 minutes. So I wasn't sure as to like which one was coming back up or whatever. So there could have been like 40, and I just don't know. But it was awesome.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Those things are so cool.
Yeah,
like so cool.
I've never seen one in real life, and I would love to. Like one time I was scuba diving in Mexico, and you could hear them calling like way off in the distance because sound travels so well in water.
Yeah.
And that was trippy, but it would have been awesome to see him.
Oh my Lord!
How would you describe its size?
Well, it was probably the biggest living thing I've ever witnessed.
Did you need a bigger boat?
Well, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like a great white Jaws.
Was it as long as a bus?
It was
49 feet.
Yeah, it was probably as long as like the boat we were on, which was I don't know, dude. It was long, but it was also like dark. Borderline black water, and then they would just unless we weren't like we didn't have the luck to be able to like see one be right on top of it. You know what I mean?
Well, because one of the problems that they're having in this bay is that they don't really do like a big breach like you think, like a humpback or like where they jump out of the water.
Yeah,
they have a really low, shallow profile, and they don't stick that far out of the water. So you probably can't even really see it all.
I idealized Patrick's experiment. Vacation.
Yeah, it was magic, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, the California Academy of Sciences, and they partner with the Marine Mammal Center. They're the ones that are investigating, trying to figure out what's going on. Kind of a disturbing quote from one of the scientists that were working on it said, "The Academy and partners at the center have not responded to this many dead gray whales since the height of the unusual mortality event in 2019, which was 14 dead gray whales, and 2021, which was 15 dead gray whales."
Wow.
So it's kind of, you would think, like, as I began reading that, my first thought was like this was going to be back in like the 80s or...
Yeah.
But no, it's like in the last 6 years, there's been these unusual mortality events happening in the San Francisco Bay.
Are they beaching themselves, or are they being killed by something? Or?
No, like that's part of the problem is a lot of times they can't get to them to do a full necropsy, or because I mean it's 90,000 pound whale, so like if it's on a beach where they can't really do like a full
autopsy.
I think, necropsy is when it's an animal autopsy.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
When you said that, I was like, what's going on with that word?
It's like the word of the day. You have to use it so you remember it.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's one problem they're having, and they can't determine the cause of death because a lot of times they can't get to them. Or like they, just on May 28th, they did a necropsy, which was conducted at Kirby Cove in the Marin Headlands. If you're from the area, that may sound familiar. It was suspected that like there was 2 adults that were spotted the 2 days before on the 26th, and they think this was one of the 2 that they saw that were spotted, and they kind of seem to assume that the other one's probably dead too. It just hasn't washed ashore yet. It's just bobbing, like floating out there somewhere in the bay. It's kind of tragic. So even by the time they wash ashore, their tissue's so decayed or decomposed that they can't do determine anything anyways.
So with the pair of them, they figured that he did die or she did die out there in the
and just hasn't washed ashore yet.
Ocean. So something out there.
Well, no, it's in the bay.
Oh, in the bay.
Because it seems like once they get in the bay, a third of the ones that have been spotted in the bay stay for at least 20 days. And like they'll notice that some of them look normal and some of them look completely emancipated, like they're about to die.
Are these older?
Emaciated?
Emaciated, yeah. I said it. Did I say emancipated?
Are they older?
Jesus. No, not all of them. Some of them are like younger, juvenile. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, can I just tell you where my brain's going with this? Like gaseous. Like that's a volcanic line there. And there's like they're swimming into the bay, maybe because they're attracted to something, but there's something gaseous that's now like slowly killing them while they're in the bay.
But wouldn't there be a bunch of dead marine animals though? Wash ashore? Like even like regular size fish?
Yeah. My other thought.
Are you saying a geological event?
Yeah, like a geological event, exactly.
Yeah, because that's like the bigger part of the study is trying to figure out what is attracting them, because they're on their way to their feeding grounds in the Arctic and they're stopping in the bay and they don't know why. And it doesn't happen every year. Like there's not every year where there are spikes, there's the high mortality rates too.
Well, there was I read a thing about algae.
Yeah, like red algae blooms.
How, El Nino will bring in warmer waters, and then you have more algae bloom. It's a change in environment can change the senses of.
Yeah, then why do they stay there for
plants
20 days?
Yeah,
and why do they wait till they're emaciated?
Yeah, it's
like
really
that's
weird.
The sole purpose of an animal is to get nutrient.
Yeah,
and this has become like a trend within the past 5 years.
It seems like it. Like that's because you think the article would have said if it happened
longer.
Yeah, and it seems like 2019 and 22 there was like these high. I mean, they call them unusual mortality events.
I mean, I think within the last 5 years, we've definitely had some strange, like weather and events. And,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with like mass coronal ejections in the sun, that affects weather as well. So you get those El Ninos and stuff that change the weather. And
yeah.
Well, I have another opinion of what it is. I'm a little embarrassed to say it, but I'm going to rip it.
You tell yours and then I'll tell mine.
Aliens. Underwater aliens.
But they're somehow attracting them?
I don't know the alien species, Brad. You tell me.
the lost city of
Like
Atlantis.
saying, dude, underwater aliens.
Like aliens could think that they're the top species on Earth.
Yeah, I know that this is something probably biological or something along those lines.
I think it's. You want to know?
Go ahead. Yeah, what's
my
yours?
theory?
Please take me away.
I'll say first that they did confirm 3 of the whales. The cause of death was vessel strikes. So that's what I think most of them probably are.
Getting hit by big cargo containers or ships and everything.
Yeah.
Because the bay is, that is a port.
Yeah,
so
it is.
They are getting big old ships.
Yeah.
Man, that's
you say
terrible.
That, the UFO thing isn't as convincing.
Well, before you said that, it seemed very like the way you were explaining it and the way this article is explaining it is it was very like mysterious.
Yeah.
And then you say cargo ships, you're like, well, okay, no
but
shit.
It still is because they like still the ones that wash ashore, like if it was in a rotor blade or one of those, you would definitely know.
In half
yeah.
Whatever.
So,
they're just getting bumped hard.
And either way, they like are like starving themselves to death.
Yeah.
So, like it's still peculiar. Like even if it is ships, but like some of the things they are doing though is trying to work with the local harbor safety committee.
Yeah.
To when there are sightings to change their ferry lanes to where ships travel to try to stay away from the spotted areas. And then also have the Coast Guard send out announcements to all vessels in the area where they're spotting them, locate them and say, watch out, go slow, be careful.
Yeah, right.
And because I know that's a big thing with manatees in Southeast U.S., like Florida and Georgia and South Carolina, because people hit manatees all the time.
Yeah.
Even just like your 18-foot boat would kill a manatee.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, that's been ongoing since we were little kids, way before that.
I love the manatee.
They're pretty cool.
Sea cows.
I just wonder how are you not extinct already?
Yeah.
You look very defenseless.
Yeah. So this is an ongoing study. They're still figuring it out. Hopefully they get some evidence that can try to stop this from I don't know how they would keep them from entering the bay, but like hopefully they can at least figure out how to help them if it's something.
Those are big.
Yeah.
It almost makes me kind of wonder if maybe it's like they communicate through low and high frequency, almost if like those container vessels and that messes with them and they think that there's maybe there's some family over here and they come into that bay.
Yeah, because you had killer whales attacking the boats off Portugal.
You still are.
Yeah. So
I wonder if they've made any correlation between like high traffic times and.
Yeah, hopefully.
He's going to have to keep us updated on this puppy.
This is something that's interesting. I'll be keeping up with it to see what happens.
Do they know like how sensitive a whale's hearing is? I know it's got to be pretty sensitive, but as far as like boats and stuff, because I would think if it's super sensitive, it's just got to be so noisy.
Yeah, like it's something, because
water.
That's a big argument. I don't know how true it is or not with the offshore wind farms.
Yeah,
is the vibrations from those messing with like the migration patterns and stuff.
Dude, there's not a single thing we can do on this planet without.
Yeah,
no, because it's not
some
made
part of the
for
environment.
technology. The planet isn't made for.
Well, anything we
man-made
do
tech.
is just as humans, we're disturbing something. Wherever you go take a poop, you're going to disturb something.
Well, valid. But if we were just taking poops and we were eating a diet of something, like we would be a part of that cycle as opposed to what we are now.
I tell you what,
it's definitely a little aggressive.
It's almost like you guys know what the second story is about, because that's a perfect segue.
About poop?
No, about humans invading or like invading the territory and messing with animals.
Okay.
So this is another one that's one of those great headlines. I have to read the headline. This is from Cascade PBS. This is like Cascade Canyon area. Bear with us. Grizzly reintroduction to North Cascade stalls.
Huh. Why did it stall?
A little pun right there.
Why did it stall?
Well, that's the story.
I know. I'm interested. Damn it, give it to me.
So this plan to reintroduce bears into the North Cascades was approved last year in the summertime, but residents are like kind of up in arms saying, you didn't even listen to what we had to say or give a shit what we said. You just went ahead and did it anyways, like approved it. So it's like obviously a hot topic. We've talked about reintroducing wolves. That's like it's pretty much the same kind of hot topic, the same issues that you have with wolves and grizzlies. So proponents of the reintroduction say that it would restore the biodiversity to the region, build ecological resilience, and contribute to the overall recovery of endangered grizzly bear population.
Yo.
So this area is around 684,000 acres.
That's enough.
As a reference, that's the size of Rhode Island.
Oh.
And when I get into the numbers of the reintroduction later, keep these in mind. So the size of Rhode Island, Great Smoky Mountain National Park it's 522,000, so like 150,000 acres smaller than the North Cascades. And it's about the size of a mid-sized Finnish municipality. Like a third of the Helsinki municipality. That's what I read.
Damn, that's a big old national park.
Yeah. Well, it's North Cascades National Park.
A big city.
Is within the North Cascades.
Oh, okay.
So this is bigger than just the national park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lord.
All right, let me get back on track here. So like I said, there was a town hall that it's the National Park Service and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife are the ones managing this. And they let residents like share their opinions. And it seemed like unanimously in the crowd, it was no, do not reintroduce grizzlies. And that's where it was like, they did it anyways. And they were like, they're saying you didn't give a shit what the public said. So grizzlies are naturally from that area, like historically are from that area. Scott Schuler, who is from the area, said, the grizzly bear is a significant animal in our history and our culture, as all animals of the landscape are. They are in our stories. They're in our place names. They're a spirit animal to the tribe. That is one of the arguments for bringing it, because it's like humans have been in that area for 15,000 years. Grizzlies have only not been in that area for 50 years.
Yeah.
Grizzlies belong in that area.
Yeah.
We are the ones that ruined it. And a lot of the indigenous tribes in that area, that's like a big deal to them. Like it's a spirit animal.
I think the grizzly bear is on the California state flag too.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
Yeah.
And they don't have grizzlies.
Seems strange.
Yeah.
Seems like you'd want them back to be like,
Really?
see, we have grizzlies.
They don't have grizzlies?
That's what he was saying.
Yeah. So prior to the prior to 1800, there was an estimated 50,000 grizzly bears that roamed 18 states. So 1800, 50,000 grizzlies. 1975, fewer than 800 grizzlies.
Wow.
And probably, I didn't see this, but 2 states or 1 state.
Yeah,
like
that's right.
Yellowstone.
Yep.
Back to the flag thing.
Yeah.
Indiana has a bison on theirs. We don't have any wild bison roaming around here. So, kind of the same
Indiana's
sitch.
flag has a bison?
Yeah. There's like a guy chopping some wood and a bison jumping around.
I thought it was a torch.
Yeah, it's like a torch with the
Oh, what am I thinking of?
stars.
No, our state seal.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I thought I was tripping.
I thought Brad was tripping. That's for sure.
I could tell Patrick was just like, I mean, I don't give a fuck what the Indiana state flag looks like. But now we're back up to around 2,000 grizzlies. They are still listed as an endangered species, however.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. So one good point that the opposition brought up that I thought was a good point, like their argument was this will balance the ecosystem and help the environment, but they've never provided proof that it even needs that. Like it's thriving. Like what's the ecosystem need grizzlies for? Like it's already diverse.
I was wondering that.
Yeah. And like their thing is like you're just putting grizzlies there because it's a place you can put grizzlies and you want to like put grizzlies out.
So what if they said is the importance? It's the ecosystem?
You mean like the people opposing?
No, the people doing it.
Yeah, like it's good.
the
Well,
ecosystem.
it's because it's good for the ecosystem, like helps keep everything in balance. And it's also like kind of righting a wrong, like restoring
What's the
them where they belong.
imbalance? Is
There
there an
is none.
imbalance now?
Well,
No, right? That's what you just
Like
said?
there's not too many elk or too many.
that's probably like that's the argument is it helps keep like a lot of things don't have as many predators now as they should have, so they can be overpopulated. But if you ask any elk hunter, they're never going to say no. There's too many elk out here. Like I know there's some districts in Washington that are like lottery draw tags that are like really, really, really hard to get. So that's the argument too, is like you're going to ruin it's going to take all the game away.
See, for me, I guess if they just kept that at righting a wrong, I'd be on, not that I'm not on board, but I'd be like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
But if you're adding on that other layer and there's nothing wrong with the ecosystem or nothing too dramatic,
Yeah.
then you're kind of losing me.
Right. Well, and it was that, like one argument against it too was that the salmon population's already kind of like in trouble. So bears are going to come in and just be scarfing down salmon and like damage it even more.
Yeah.
But they, I thought this was a funny quote from Andrew Lavelle, who is, I think he was an NPS ranger. He was a representative for either one of the two branches. He said, "They're not just going to go to the bear store and pull one off the shelf. They would be looking for a specific subset of bears." But what he meant was they're going to be if they go through with this, they would be taking them from inland ecosystems like the Rocky Mountain Range or the interior of British Columbia, where like they're still omnivores, but they mainly eat off like a plant-based diet. Like they don't really go after fish and meat and stuff. So they would put them in that area. They're not interested in fish, at least for now.
Yeah.
But then this is what kind of really got me against any opposition to it is their reintroduction plan. So this is the timeline. They would release 3 to 7 bears each year for 5 to 10 years. So 3 to 7 bears a year for 5 to 10 years, establishing an initial population of 25. So I think it's like once there's a stable population of 25, they taper off the reintroduction. And then their goal is to reach 200 by 60 to 100 years. So it's like
bears in 60 to 100 years.
Yeah. So that's where it's like the argument of like, we're not like, how are you going to do this? Just drop bears in on us, like our livestock, which that will happen. Like livestock will get killed and people will lose money. they normally have some kind of program in place. Never seems to be enough to cover the cost of like a cow, what you would get for a cow. But there usually are some kind of programs in place. But also we're talking like the size of Rhode Island.
Right. That's what I was about to say. How many acres was that? Or how many square miles? And 200 bears in that air.
And those, and like
I don't know.
the elk and the deer there won't know shit about grizzlies. So like, I feel like they're going to have plenty to eat. Yeah. So,
I mean, I guess I'll play devil's advocate if they're saying that, you know, there's no proof that like the ecosystem is fine the way it is. I guess I could also say, well, it was fine when you weren't there as well.
oh yeah. Yeah.
And then until you came, we had this population of grizzlies, and then you moved in, and now we're in a situation where they're endangered.
Yeah.
So where is the problem lying?
Right.
It doesn't seem like the introduction is the problem. It seems like, and I understand like the opposite side of that, where people have livelihoods, you know, they don't want grizzlies in their backyards, but I mean, you're kind of paying to play if you're moving into that territory and you're butting up against it. Like you got to play with the hand that you're dealt.
Yeah. Cause I would imagine even like mountain lions and pumas would be maybe even more more predation from them than they will see from grizzlies for
I could see
60 to 100 years.
If I moved into bear country, I would be prepared to move into bear country.
Yeah.
But if you're in non-bear country and they decide, hey, we're going to get bears in here, that might be a different story. Like, what do I got to...
Yeah.
No, I got to...
But I mean, the bears were there to begin with, so...
For 15,000 years,
Yeah.
as far as we know, 15,000 years.
I understand like the conservation part of it, but you could make that argument for everything all the way back through time where
to us,
you know.
I will say too, this is like, it's one of the largest tracts of wilderness left in the lower 48 too. Like this shit is like pure like one of the last true like wilderness areas.
Yeah, it's you can tell.
Yeah. So, and we're talking 25 bears in 10 years.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a really petty argument not to say, all right. Like, I feel like from the reintroduction from a native species is enough for me. I feel like the number that they're trying to put out in 100 years in a place that's as large as Rhode Island is enough for me. And I do agree with you, Corey, that if you're you're the problem, dude. It wasn't the bear that's the problem. It's you that's the problem. And then you're coming in. I mean, to me that's I'm fine. I love that.
But it sucks because it is stalled right now because they should be starting to like pick bears that they're going starting the process. But right now it's kind of stalled out because a lot of the local mayors and the towns and stuff are like pretty hardcore against it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's the Grizzlies been like it's another just hot topic in every state where they talk about them, where they have them, because like it's one of those things where it's an endangered species, but like in Montana, it's not endangered, so it has this super protected set of rules, even though it's not really a problem there.
And it can become a deadly predator.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Dude, thanks, Panther Brad or something. I don't know. But thank you, dude. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was two great ones.
Yeah.
Kind of bummed me out with that first one, but the second one kind of drew me back. Kind of pissed me off a little bit, but I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Bummer about the gray whale, though. I
want to know why.
It's also...
So do I.
Yeah.
I started thinking towards the end of that one, do you think that they kind of get locked in for some reason? But then when you started saying like the sound of the ships and how noisy it must be in that bay, do you think that they also get like disoriented?
Yeah.
Where they're like, how the hell did we get out of this bay? And that's why you see them emaciated or emancipated.
Doing circles.
They just keep doing circles because they're it's so noisy that they get confused.
That would make them the opposite of emancipated. They're trapped in.
Yeah, they're trapped. Yeah. Thanks. Dang, yeah, good job, Brad. Now you're back, bro. Dude, Travi,
Yes,
Brad,
sir.
Corey, 'tis game night.
Yep.
And we have a wonderful game to play.
I won the first time we ever played.
Yes, we did. We played it down in Damascus, Virginia a few weeks ago for Trail Days. But this is a little Trekking the National Parks trivia. It's going to be exciting. I think all you listeners out there better stick with us.
That's not trademark, right?
And play along.
Yep, and play along. That's right.
Let us know if you
These are good questions.
Yep.
We did a round of these down.
We vetted it.
In Damascus.
Yep.
And they're good questions. Way better than the ones that we've come up with.
Darn right.
Hey, at least I came up with mine.
I came up with awesome ones from the internet that I read. What do you say we get in?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right, guys, it's trivia time. So, Patrick, you mentioned earlier that we have a nice little box of good trivia questions.
Yes, I do.
The national parks.
I have them right here in my hand. It is a laundry list of great national park, trekking the national park trivia questions. What we will do is we will rotate this stack of cards amongst us four. You will take a card out with the question side facing you, not looking at the answer.
Which is on the back of the card.
Which is on the back of the card. Yep. You will read the question in its entirety because there's a fun little excerpt of little tidbits of information. And then the actual question. But I think for our purposes, the tidbit of information is kind of the fun part. Whoever gets closest, this is going to be Price is Right rules, okay? So whoever gets closest to the answer wins.
No, It's not like Price is Right rules.
So it's not going to be like Price is Right rules. It's going to be whoever gets closest to the answer, highest or lowest, wins. But if you're off at the same measure, so if the answer is 40 and somebody answers 41 and the other person answers 39, then it goes to the lowest.
And that's Price is Right rules.
And that's Price is Right rules. Okay?
Okay.
So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to play until the end of the episode. So not necessarily who gets the most cards. We'll keep a timer going. When we have about 5 minutes left, we'll say, hey, this is the last question.
Clever.
And that question's going to be worth, what do you say? Like, let's make it a whopping,
2 points.
2 cards. Yeah, you get 2 cards for it, okay?
Let me guess. I'll have a 1-point lead.
Well, Travi,
when the episode needs to be shut down.
You are at the helm of your own destiny.
Okay.
Okay?
Are we doing first to 5 cards or first to the end of the episode?
We could go first to 5 cards or yes. Yes, okay. The answer is yes. If somebody gets to the 5 cards before the allotted time we have, then that mother will be the winner.
And if there's a tiebreaker, a non-involved person that's involved in the tiebreaker comes up with a question. Like you did.
Sure, Brad. However you want to make this as technical as it could possibly get, that's the way we'll do it.
Corey, are you excited or what?
Yeah, this should be riveting.
If you're into
analytics of a trivia game.
I definitely said that way harder than I should have.
No kidding. All right, let's get into it before we bore everybody to death. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start. Yep. Don't just be gentlemen and don't look at the back.
I won't. I promise.
I don't. Okay. All right. Question is, the unique high elevation desert of the Great Sand Dunes creates an environment with extreme fluctuations in temperature. On a summer afternoon, the sand surface can reach very high temperatures. In Fahrenheit, what is the highest recorded temperature of the sand surface at Great Sand Dunes?
Oh, boy.
What is the highest recorded temperature of the sand surface at Great Sand Dunes?
I'm trying to think of questions that would help me come to that conclusion.
I'm just thinking
Can you tell us where it is, like what state? Because I don't even know where that is.
It doesn't say that on the card?
Does anybody else know?
I would guess it's the Great Sand Dunes. Is that right?
Like Nevada?
Yeah.
I would guess like somewhere the Nevada, like Death Valley, California area.
Yeah, I'm going to go with what Brad said.
That's just a guess.
Yep. My thought process is what do I know that's hot as hell? And this is hotter by a little bit. That was my
hotter
process.
than hot as hell.
Yeah. Do we have our answers? Does all four of us have answers?
Yep.
I'm locked in.
Okay, let's go ahead and show those puppies. Brad has 167 degrees Fahrenheit. Corey has 155 degrees Fahrenheit. Travi J has 159 degrees Fahrenheit. And I have 145 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm coming in the lowest.
And I'm the highest.
Let's get to Price's Right Rolls. All right, drum roll, please. The answer is 150 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh.
Did you say 49?
I said 145
So Price is Right
degrees.
rules.
So Price is Right rules says old Patty Bear gets his card. All right, dude. That's
you're the one asking the question.
yes.
That is weird.
Well, you have an opportunity to cheat right now. Hey, that was fun. I'm glad I won.
Yeah. Don't get used to
I
it.
think I'm just going to roll out now. You guys finish this without me. I'm going to win in my head.
You already got as many cards as you got last time we played.
Okay, Brad. That's actually
You haven't won anything yet.
that's true though.
Cuyahoga Valley National Park has the rare distinction of being an urban park. It is close to the cities of Cleveland and Akron and is one of the few parks that host within its borders a small town with private businesses.
Yep.
What percent of Cuyahoga National Park remains in private ownership? I'm trying to think of how big Cuyahoga is. We know Great Smoky Mountain National Park is 155,000 acres.
We're talking acreage here.
No, it's what percentage
Is owned.
of Cuyahoga Valley National Park remains in private ownership.
Well, since I'm up one, I'm feeling a bit arrogant like Brad was the last time we played trivia.
And still,
And still arrogant?
yeah.
Well, I'm up one. You're down one. Does everybody have answers?
Yeah, does everybody
Yep.
have answers? All right.
Oh, no.
What percentage of Cuyahoga Valley is...
No need, Brad. No
Okay.
need.
All right, everybody flip. Travis with 2%, Corey with 95%, Patty with 85%. We're all over the board. I
Yes,
have
we are.
23%. The answer is 5%.
5%.
Travis.
Yeah.
You know,
Dang.
some of these parks are so massive. We
What-
just got done talking about those bears.
Good job, Travis. How do you feel right now?
Good. You know, it's early, but it's
Yeah.
nice to have a point early.
Shut
You know?
your
Yeah,
legs
it
out
is.
a
You know
little.
how it feels.
Yes, I do.
Feels good.
I'm one of the other ones.
a
I'm
little
the only
more-
other one that
Yeah,
does.
relaxed.
Yeah.
I'm a little more relaxed.
Yep, a little edge off.
All right, gentlemen, are we ready?
Yeah,
Yep.
let's go,
Okay.
Corey.
Go here. President Woodrow Wilson signed the Organic Act, which established the National Park Service as we know it today. What year was the Organic Act signed?
Ooh.
Which president?
Woodrow Wilson.
That son of a gun.
That just helped Travis. Travis is like, oh, got this.
Yeah, I know what his term was.
Done, dude.
I almost don't want to answer this
I do.
because it's going to make me look real stupid.
I feel like this was talked about in our National Park Spotlight episode.
Dang it,
Huh?
Wilson.
I feel like it was too.
And I'm the one who did the research on that. So I hope I get this right.
This son of a gun.
It's those early, because it's always like Grant, those presidents in that time frame. I always get confused what years they were in, like FDR, Woodrow Wilson. I'm just giving you guys more clues. I need to shut up.
Yeah, keep talking, Brad. I've changed my answer 3 times since I started jaw jacking.
I'm more worried about like the century.
Oh, I know I got the century right. The Organic Act. This established the National Park Service, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, would you like me to read it again? President Woodrow Wilson signed the Organic Act, which established the National Park Service as we know it today.
Okay. Interesting. Everybody got it?
I think so.
Yep. Yep, I'm ready.
Brad, yours says 23%.
And that was wrong.
I got it.
1913.
1940, Corey. 1912, Travi J, CE. Thank you for specifying. And mine is 1910. That's Patty's 1910.
Okay. Ooh, 1916.
Oh, dang.
By a year.
Ooh. Good job, Brad.
Nailed it. Okay, my question.
Yes, it is.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Let's hear it.
I know this is going to be a good one. I got to slide it out without seeing the...
I'm not looking.
Okay.
Okay.
The National Park Service maintains more than just national parks. It is also responsible for national recreation areas, memorials, historical parks, monuments, and 14 other unit types. As of 2023, how many total National Park System units are there? Wow.
Man, it's like I have two numbers in my head and they're pretty different. And I'm pretty sure it's one of them.
You know what?
I'm going with the other one.
I think my way of answering is just I just write it like first thought, boom, done.
Yeah.
I want to know how Brad had two quick answers right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still trying to...
Well, I know how many national parks there are. The unit part threw me,
Yeah.
you know?
Because that's like everything.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to shoot for...
Man,
This is the most mediocre number I can find.
Yeah.
I keep flip-flopping. I'm going to cross out the one the second option. You'll see what I'm talking
I
about.
think I'm just going
Okay.
to go with the Patrick method and just
Yeah.
write down the first number that
Just
comes to
crank it
mind.
out.
Just
Yep.
gut. Sometimes gut's the way to go.
All right.
All right. You guys have your answers?
376.
Brad has 376.
376.
Yes.
I'm at
Okay.
like 7,543.
7,000.
That's what you have?
Yeah,
Let me see. Holy
He
crap.
does have it.
Wow.
I do have it.
1,500.
Oh, we're all over the place.
I guessed 120.
Oh,
120.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
feeling pretty.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good.
I have no idea what.
I have no idea.
425.
425.
Brad got it. 376 was my guess.
Good job, Brad.
Thank you very much.
So Brad's at 2.
I think that the News Panther working with Wall every week, I definitely see a lot of these numbers all the time.
You're learning a lot more.
Yeah.
I try to absorb it all, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
So 2-1-1, Corey Zip.
Big zero.
Corey Goose Egg. All right.
Gotta step it
I
up,
can
Corey.
stretch my legs
I
a
know.
little.
Yes, you can. Next question. Pioneering female architect Mary Jane Coulter designed the Bright Angel Lodge at the Grand Canyon. Her inspiration was local landscape and native traditions. She was one of the very few female architects of her time. In what year was the Bright Angel Lodge built?
Can you read it one more time?
All of it?
Just the fun fact.
Pioneering female architect Mary Jane Coulter designed the Bright Angel Lodge at the Grand Canyon. Her inspiration was local landscape and native traditions. She was one of the very few female architects of her time. In what year was the Bright Angel Lodge built?
Man, so like it doesn't even really say if it's still around.
Nope, it does not say that.
Man, that makes it tough.
Honestly, I don't know if it would have been like it's been dismantled. I'd be like, oh, like I don't know if that would have helped me. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Well, but then it could
who the
be
hell
like,
knows?
I feel like then it could be like 1900.
That's true.
Not that that's not it.
That's true. Do you have yours, Brad?
Yep.
Corey?
Yep.
Travi?
Yep.
Show them and read them.
1957.
1957?
I had 1920.
1920?
20.
1963? I had 1915. Answer is
Oh, good.
1935.
35.
That's math.
That's 15 there.
That's Corey.
Corey Gaudette.
Oh, I'm on the
15.
board.
There, good job, dude. Corey, you get one card.
Corey
Nicely
with the
played,
card.
home skillet. Here you go, Brad. Pass them on over. All right, Corey bringing it a little closer. So Brad is up.
All right. There are 2 parks in northern Wyoming that a person can visit on the same day, Yellowstone and Grand Teton. I believe we've done that.
Yep.
In miles, how far apart is Yellowstone National Park and Grand Teton National Park?
Oh, man.
We definitely got, we've driven or rode in a car
Yeah.
in between these parks.
About 20 different times.
But it also doesn't say how far apart if you're driving,
Yeah.
how far apart as the crow flies. It doesn't say.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I have an answer already.
And so the question was that you can go between both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How in miles? How far apart are Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Park? Yep.
Yeah. I know. Let's get those on the board.
All
That
right.
makes me nerd.
Yeah, it does.
Ready?
Yep. Everybody, Corey, what do you got?
I got 150 miles.
150 miles?
Travis has 0.
0 miles?
Patty has 20. I have 16.
Okay.
The answer is 10.
There we
10.
go.
Do I just hang on to this card then?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Nicely
Brad, get it out of
done.
there.
I'll do that.
Son of a gun.
That's what I was almost thinking. There might be a border that touches, and it could be 1 mile or half a mile or 0. That was a tough
Yeah,
one.
I don't. I almost have a memory of almost exiting Yellowstone and entering Teton.
Yeah.
But so there might have been a little gap in there
Well, there was.
because there was a lot
There
of
was around 16 miles.
driving.
All right, next question. Utah hosts several national parks that are all beautiful variations of rugged landscapes cultured by time. They are close enough together that it is possible to drive through all of them in a single day. How many national parks are there in Utah?
Ooh, fun.
Ooh, and I feel like Patty knows this
Well, I already have an answer.
because we've talked about it. I feel like quite a few times.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I remember what we talked about.
Now that you're setting me up like this, though, if I'm wrong, I'm an idiot.
I feel like I've been asked this question before, and I was wrong, and I think I just put down the same answer.
Well, somebody's got to pull it closer to Brad, so one of us has
Did you
got to
put
think
down
something.
I?
He wrote 4 with an I.
All right, I got 5.
I got 4.
4,
5.
5. Oh,
Whoa. Split.
I don't know
All
what.
right.
I don't know what we do in this situation.
The answer is 5.
I don't know.
I was wrong again.
Well, this never
The same
happened.
answer.
Uh-oh. You can take it, Brad. Go ahead.
Or would you like to use the bonus as a breaker?
Let's use the bonus as a breaker.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's what it's there for.
We can Google it.
Yeah, we could Google it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Which state is Capitol Reef National Park located in?
Capitol Reef National Park.
Interesting.
What are you thinking, Brad?
Yeah.
I have my answer.
What are
Do you?
thinking?
Okay.
It's Hail Mary, I think.
Okay.
Is it in Hawaii?
Hawaii?
I put Virginia
Virginia?
because capital.
Yeah. I put Utah.
I was hoping you didn't put Virginia.
Yeah. That would have been.
So we got Utah and Virginia?
Yep.
Oh, we have to Google it now?
You know what? I think so, because there's not an answer for that bonus question on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ask Uncle Google. I'm decently positive because I think this is one of the big 5 or the
That would make sense.
thing 5 or
Part
whatever.
of the question.
Capitol Reef National Park is.
Oh,
in-
man, it's in Utah.
Ah! Toss that card on over here, Corey boy.
How's there a reef national park in Utah?
I don't know if it's actually
Fossils,
a
man.
reef, but it could be fossils, yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
Hey, that was fun. Brad, how many cards do you have?
3.
3? I just want to make sure how much more work I got to do because Patty Bear's sweating over here.
Oh, okay.
from the other side.
Got to work on it. All right, you guys ready here?
Absolutely.
Okay. In 1937, a giant sequoia tree fell and blocked a road in Sequoia National Park. Rather than trying to move the tree, the National Park Service simply carved a tunnel through it. It became known as tunnel log.
Oh.
Creative.
In feet, how long is this ceiling of the tunnel log from the ground?
Ooh.
Hold on. Ask the question one more time. In feet, how long is the tunnel log from the ground?
The roof of the tunnel.
In feet, how
I see.
high
Okay.
is the ceiling of the tunnel log from the ground?
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Because you didn't say that
I feel
the
like
first
you
time.
asked two different questions.
Yeah.
What's the height,
What's the
maximum height in the tunnel log?
But that's
Tunnel.
not. It seems like the length of the tunnel.
Well, that's
would
not
be
the
a better
question. Well, email the editor.
Do you need illustration?
No, I get it.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
I got mine.
Oh, man. I was hoping Brad'd take a while because then I'd be like, ooh, I got him now.
All right, I got 24.
Ooh,
Lucky 13.
lucky 13.
8 feet.
25 feet.
Ooh.
25 feet.
Hey, man, I don't know. It's a big-ass tree.
It is a big ass tree.
The answer is 8 feet.
Is that you? Nice. Nice. I feel like that was a pretty spot-on guess. I mean, I'm not trying to call Travis out, but he was the one that read the question.
It was pretty
and
spot
it was
on.
dead on. Come on.
Like if I was going to cheat, I wouldn't. Well, you know,
That's exactly how you do it.
That seems pretty
like,
short.
why would he guess the exact answer?
Like could your
no way he cheated.
like could your truck go through an 8-foot tunnel? That seems pretty short.
That is pretty
yeah,
short.
my truck's not 8 foot tall.
Yeah, I can reach the top. I can see over his truck.
We gotta go do that experiment after this.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to keep going with questions.
Let's do it.
Okay. There are over 400 units that the National Park Service maintains. National parks see the highest percentage of total visitation, with national recreation areas coming in second. In 2021, what percent of visitors to National Park System units were specifically to national parks? Oh, man, that's a whopper of a question. That was hard to read.
So-
you want me to do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are over 400 different units that the National Park Service maintains. National parks see the highest percentage of total visitation, with national recreation areas coming in second. In 2021, what percent of visitors to National Park System units were specifically to national parks?
All right, I got my answer.
Damn, I didn't even get done.
What percentage of all visitors go to national parks
Yeah.
that visit
Yes,
All of them.
the whole system?
All over 400.
yes.
That would have been a spoiler for the previous question because it says
Yeah,
of
you're
over
right.
400 units.
Yep. All right, how's everybody looking?
I'm good.
Travis is thinking. He's writing. All right.
41%.
41% Brad, 58% Travi J, 64% Corey, 60% Patty. The answer is 31%.
Hey, old Dad Brad over
Old
here.
Dad Brad. Old Dad Brad gets another one.
I'm starting to get
Embarrassed?
concerned about Brad.
Concerned?
My head might get too big for winning all this trivia.
Man, you are good at these. That's for sure. So Brad's got 4, which means that he's one card away from winning this G-damned game.
Yep.
I have 2. Travi J has 2. Corey has 1.
And then we have a bonus for 10 points.
Unless who cares? Oh, we just want to do a bonus no matters? Okay.
Wait,
Nope. Yep, that's true. I like that
that
idea.
was if we run out of time and
Yeah.
2 people are tied.
Well,
Got plenty of time.
it's a show of hands democracy in this space, and
Oh,
if
boy.
we all choose to do it this way,
This sounds like a dictatorship.
bonus question for 10 points.
bonus question for 10 points.
Bryce Canyon
All right.
National
Corey
Park
votes.
was named after Mormon pioneer Ebenezer Bryce,
Ah,
who homesteaded in the area he became infamous for his many unsuccessful attempts to raise cattle in the area, losing many to the labyrinth of rock formations. What year did Ebenezer Bryce first settle in Bryce Canyon?
Oh, my Lord.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What year
Because I
did
feel like
Ebenezer Bryce settle in Bryce Canyon?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Because you don't even know, like, was that were Mormons already established in Salt Lake City? It's hard to say.
Lord.
Tell me, brother.
You tell me, bro. I have my answer, though.
Everybody else have an answer? Everybody's writing down?
I'm still going here.
Yeah, Corey's using every bit of his brain right now to just...
I know. This is really showing me how little I know about national parks.
Well, we've all had pretty wild answers.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
All right. I have 1880.
All right.
Travis, 1856.
CE.
Patty, you got...
1912.
And then Corey, 1950.
1950.
Yep.
1874.
1874. Brad wins. What the fuck is with Brad?
Brad wins.
Like, how are you off? How are you close by like 6 years every question?
Because I know when the Homestead Act of 1876 happened. And the Mormons moved
explains
out.
He actually knows the answer. He's not just guessing.
That's so true. I'm guessed on every answer, and I piss at the guy that knows. Like, go fuck yourself. How can you know more than me?
But
It's so hard for Patrick to believe that.
Yeah, this is really crushing my ego.
But wait, or it does help that I did the national park episode on the beginning of national parks. So
Yeah.
like all of this info was in that episode.
Perfect.
Basically.
This is a real
Well-
great game.
It's not over
Yeah,
because there's a 10-point bonus question.
that's right. That's
that
right.
Our guest
Gets to
is going to
read.
give
Did
us.
I get to read? Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
Brad, you still have a shot
Oh.
of losing, dude. You either have a
So
shot
you
at
guys
winning by
want,
20.
So you guys want me to beat you by a shitload? Is that what you're saying? No matter what
dude.
happens here, I
Other
won.
way, Corey. That's not true
It's very true.
because the game, as voted on by the participants,
The listeners know.
So here's the question. 1990 marked the first year that the visitation of Joshua Tree National Park surpassed 1 million people.
1990.
Mm-hmm.
Right after U2's Joshua Tree album came out.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah, that would have been.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Was Ecstasy around in 1990?
Been around forever, man.
Oof. Heard that.
Oh,
I'm glad that YouTube is not one of those trivia questions because
Yeah.
I would have no idea.
I actually have
90?
no idea if that's right.
What year did Joshua Tree's visitation surpass 2 million?
Oh, 2 million?
Oh, man.
1990? What do you?
1990, it surpassed 1 million. What year did it surpass 2 million?
Because is Joshua Tree pretty remote? Like, do you have to work to get there? Like, drive far to get there?
I feel like every national park in that area, unless you pay now to fly like Phoenix, but then I think it's still, or there's another one. Springdale maybe is another airport down there. And then I feel like it's a drive. I mean, dude, any place in that desert area is so far from each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your brother's house to Big Bend.
It was like 7 hours or something.
And yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Answer.
All right. What do we got?
The answer that doesn't matter. I have 2018,
1998.
2005 for Travis.
And I have 2010.
2010.
We're all kind of close. What?
Yep.
All right. And the answer is 2015.
2K15. Who won? Who got it?
What'd you have, Patty?
1998. It wasn't
So I
me.
won.
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
job, Brad.
You guys want to keep going?
Yeah,
You want to keep
kinda.
playing?
Hell yeah. Nice, dude.
I was thinking, because after COVID, every park had a huge spike.
Boomed.
So I was trying to stay close to that.
Yeah.
Because I knew you guys, you knuckleheads.
Would guess 1998, 8 years later.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, a million's a
really
big number because I think the Smokies gets like in the high 20 millions.
Yeah. Dang.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Someday I'll go there.
It's certainly one on my list, and I definitely want to get there prior to it being destroyed.
Yeah.
You know?
That almost seems like, because isn't there a lot of, like, you can rent a house in Joshua Tree, right? I think there's like a lot of rentals and stuff you can get there.
I don't know about in it, but
Around it?
around it, yeah. Well,
Yeah. Well, we learned that Cuyahoga Falls has, what's the percentage of private property?
5% or something smaller.
It was a low percent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Anyways.
definitely thought that was going to be higher as well because we went there, and I know that was like it's like the same thing as New River Gorge where there was like a town in it.
Oh.
So I was thinking, and we went hiking through it, and it wasn't, I mean, I guess there was a bit of hiking trails, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be a larger amount. Cuyahoga Falls is very pretty and not that far from here at all.
Yeah, we drove by it, right?
Yeah, we did by the exit at least.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, we did by the exit.
There were all sorts of parks on the way from Fort Wayne to
Hocking Hills.
Virginia.
Yeah, we passed Hocking Hills too.
Yeah.
I've always heard about that. I've never actually gone to Hocking Hills. So
Yeah, me neither.
Neither have I.
someday.
I bet it's pretty cool.
I bet. Well, guys, that was another game night.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brad won.
You know what? I choose to say fortunately.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because we're all a team here, and when one of us wins, we all win.
No, I would.
Brad.
No, I would.
If Brad keeps acting like an asshole,
What if
Our
it's
team doesn't exist.
I'm kidding, dude.
Me and Walt won.
No, I don't care. It's all of
Oh,
us.
you were cheating.
We are a team. Yeah, you were. Yeah, that's true. It's 2 against all of us all the time. This is baloney butt. And
No.
Brad's not the one that has the info. It's the
Baloney
news
butt.
Panther.
Asterisk, Brad Strix.
Asterisk Brad Strix.
Oh boy, I think it's time to get out of here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Corey, thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for
playing
having
with
me.
us.
Yeah, for real, dude. You have a real voice for this.
Thank you.
Ever
Thank
thought
you.
of Getting in radio?
Why
98.9
not?
The Bear?
I mean, you know how long it's been since I've listened to 98.9 The Bear on the radio?
Around, honestly.
It is.
Oh,
I hope so.
all right.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Keep on sauntering.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Adios.
It's so fun meeting you guys.
Dude, I love